Can I get a KAA?
You know.
Did you really though? How y'all doing? My name is Ricky Harris. I'm a former KAA counselor. Preferably, I was at KAA 1, which I think is the best camp. But I'm open to debate about that. But I'm currently a pastor at the Summit Church, which is in the Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina, and I'm happy to be with you today. I wanted you to know something, that you do not have to wait to have an impact on your community for Christ, that those things can be done right away. And today we're going to hear from someone, a young man who I think is extremely talented and gifted. And I haven't known him for long, but our conversations have been just really, really great and encouraging to hear from a young man who's actually doing that. This young man is named Nick Alexander. He is a former camper. He attended HG. He also has won the I'm Third Award. He's a native of Dallas, Texas, of Tate High, and he's also a junior at the University of Houston. But let me just tell you the gifts of this young man. He's a track star. I would argue maybe faster than Usain Bolt, but again, I'm open to debate on that. But he has won a 200-meter. He's won bronze in that. His 4x1 meter relay team were champions of 2018, and in 2019 they won the Texas and also Penn relays. But not only is Nick a beast on the track, but he's also humble. A young man who serves his community, who loves God, who loves his family. In fact, to kind of give you more of his resume, for the past 2 years, he has started a back-to-school backpack drive for his kids in his community. He's raised at least, or have given away at least 450 backpacks to kids in need. And not only that, for the past 3 years, he has served at the Forge for families in Houston as a mentor. And actually, this ministry is led by former directors Dana and Bridget Thomas. So with all that being said, I would love for you all to give him a warm KAA welcome to the fastest man in the world, Mr. Nick Alexander.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Nick, good to see you, man. How you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good. Thank you for the introduction. How you doing?
Man, we doing all right, man. I like that shirt you got on, man. I like that. It says Hayden Hours.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
I like that, man. I like that. So we got like 4 hours left, right, to still hate.
Yeah, 4 hours, about 3.5 hours left to hate.
Yeah.
We get closed down for the day.
All right. Well, bro, it's cool to see you, man. Like I said before, I've enjoyed, our brief interaction, but I've never kind of get to hear your heart a little bit, man. And so I kind of want to ask some questions, man, for our viewers. They can kind of see what God is doing in your life and kind of see how God is working. And so I love to kind of get into your story, man, kind of your narrative. So tell me about, how you got to KAA.
So I got to KAA, my church, Mount Hebron Missionary Baptist Church. They've always been heavily connected with kids across America. My mom has always worked there, been a Kaleo and stuff like that. So just seeing my older sister go through camp, I always knew like I was next. I always knew I was going to end up going to camp. So that's how I got involved in Kids Across America.
Nice, man. So was it just you and your sister, or did you have other, friends or cousins to attend camp as well?
Yeah, like I said, my church was really heavily involved. So just seeing all the older kids from my church leave every summer, go to Kids Across America, and them come back and share just how excited they were, their experiences, and how much fun they had. Just always kind of made me want to go to camp as well.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool, bro. How long did you attend camp?
Man, I attended camp from the age of 9 to I graduated higher ground HG3 before my senior high school. So
man,
I attended a long time.
Man, camp should have gave you a job, man.
Man, I consider camp a second home to me as much as I go.
Right, man. Camp should have gave you a job or a stipend or something, man. Man, that's what's up, man. It's cool to see, man, how you started from camp so early and then continued on with it. How would you say, especially having, I'm guessing, close to a decade of attending camp, at least from 9 to, let's say, 17, 18, at least somewhere around there, how would you say going to camp almost every summer, how has that impacted your life for Christ?
It definitely was like, I know at camp, we always say, light the fire. Like it always was kind of a good like break in between school, going back to school and after the school year, just to kind of rekindle that fire, kind of step away from reality and just get connected and get closer to God and surround yourself with like-minded people, God-fearing people to make
Yeah,
sure, kind of make sure that I was on track, and if I wasn't, to get me back on track, and just just kind of hold me accountable.
yeah, yeah. Man, if you can go back in the archives of your mind, man, which summer would you say was your favorite summer at camp? Best summer of all time, bar none.
I know you said earlier that KA1 is your favorite camp, but I would have
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
K2 is the best camp because after Deuce it
Okay.
does go down. So I think K2 is the best camp, and I think those were probably my greatest years,
That's
my
cool, man.
best years at camp. And also HG. HG
Okay.
was HG is a large part of who I am today.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, man. Again, I'm up to the debate. I think K1's the best. I have my long list of reasons, but I feel like when you said K2, I feel like I need to put you into your hating hours on your shirt because I feel like you're not giving us a fair shake, man. But it's all right. It's all love, man. It's all love.
Good.
But it's really cool, man, to see, man, your consistency to go back to camp, and just how camp continue to shape you and help you grow. So, kind of hearing your narrative and your background of kind of being involved in your church at an early age, and family and friends going to camp, you going to camp for so long. I want to hear more now about present things you're doing. So, man, give us some more information, man. Tell us the kind of backdrop on your backpack giveaway.
Yeah, so I started my back to school drive the summer after my freshman year of college.
Okay.
Um, Really, my motivation behind that was just I guess like I don't know, just moving to college, going to college, being in a new environment, different city, being away from your parents, you kind of have to grow up. That's the whole really point of going to college. So my first couple months in college, I had lost a friend, one of my closest friends I've been friends with since sixth grade all the way through 12th grade through graduation. After graduation, he was shot and killed. That was and then going back home to his candlelight and his funeral kind of like made me reevaluate myself and ask myself, like, if I was to die today, like, how would people remember me? What
Mm-hmm.
would people say about me? And I didn't want people just to be like, oh, Nick was a great athlete. Nick was really fast. I wanted people to remember me for who I was and the type of person I was. So I wanted to kind of change. I'm not going to say change my image, but just kind of expand people's perspective on me. So I feel like
Yeah.
giving back to the community was one thing that I was really passionate about, just because my friend Godfrey Okoye, I feel like he kind of ran into the same problems that a lot of people from my city have, that run into, as far as once you graduate high school, you go to college, and if sports don't work out, you kind of move back home. You don't really have much options, or
Right.
you really don't know what to do after sports kind of comes to an end. So I think he kind of fell into some of those same traps. A lot of kids fall into, and a lot of the people I looked up to and kind of considered role models in my life, they fell into, and they kind of always kind of disappointed me and let me down. So I just kind of took it upon myself to be that role model, lead by example, just be consistent, just give the kids in my city someone they can look up to. So I started my back to school drive, and that was a real motivation behind it.
That's awesome, man. First of all, I'm sorry about your friend. I actually didn't know about that part of your story, man. So definitely sorry about that, bro. But really am proud of you and appreciate how you're using the loss, um, to really benefit others, man. But yeah, man, it's really cool to see how you took something so tragic and you're making it hopeful, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is the gospel, man. We look at our sin and what our sin has done, and we look at the cross. And on one side you have death, and one side you have life. And praise God that He made something tragic, and gave us life from it, man. So, man, really encouraged by that, bro. How cool is it to see, these kids, man? When you're giving away these backpacks, man. How do you feel when you see them, man? Excited.
It's a great feeling. It's always better. I feel like it's always better to put a smile on somebody else's face than to put a smile on your own face, to do something that puts a smile on your face. Just see how excited they are, just to see the new backpacks and new school supplies. You could tell And even on the parents' faces, you could tell it's definitely like a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
It's just a good feeling just because I know I'm helping them, and I just, bring in the year like with a whole bunch of excitement and just positive vibes and make sure that they're happy and have everything they need. It's a good feeling.
that's cool, man. How many backpacks have you handed out already?
Actually, last year, we gave out 450, I think 455. That was just last year alone. That was only my second year doing it. So
Wow. So
it
this
was,
year you making double that maybe.
yeah, this year, I think we already starting off with pledge to have 500. So
Okay.
that's just my goal. I'm very thankful. I never, even the growth from my first year to my second year, even that totally blew my expectations and that blew my mind. So
Yeah.
I think that's all God Himself. So
Yeah.
it's just each year I want to take it higher and higher. I even want to eventually expand to multiple schools.
Okay.
Yeah, just be in anything, just be better than you were before, be better than the year before. So
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. So not only have you been giving backpacks, back to your kids in your community, but you're also a mentor.
yeah.
So man, tell me about that, man. Like, what pushed you, to not only be a servant in your community, but also want to say not only do I want to serve my community and giving back supplies, but I also want to be physically present in my
Yeah.
community. So what made you, want to be a mentor?
Well, I started mentoring when I got to college at the Forge for Families with Miss Bridget, Miss Chantel Mack, um,
I'm just
also.
saying KA1. I'm just saying
uh,
KA1, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.
That's
I'm
true.
done.
That's true. But also, those are family. Those are like close family friends. That I've met through camp that are like aunties and uncles to me. So
Okay.
just knowing that they were down there, that was one of the reasons I went to Houston, because I knew I have a lot of people, a lot of families that would hold me accountable in my faith, and me as a person that would look out for me. So
Yeah.
when I got down there, I wanted to get connected with them, and I started mentoring. At the time, he was a second grader, Drake. I've been with him for 3 years. I've been here with him every year since I've been in college. And
You
that's
mean
just
Drake? You mean Drake, the hip hop artist?
nah, not Drake, not that Drake, not
Hey
that Drake.
man, Drake needs Jesus too, man. I just didn't know. I just wanted to make sure, man. He needs
So
Jesus too.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go
my Drake, he got a little swag too.
ahead.
But yeah, that was like just something I just wanted to get involved with. I know I did how the influence I had back at home in Garland. I wanted to also have an influence in the third world community, because that's where I'll be spending a lot of my months and a lot of my upcoming years. So that was
Yeah.
just something, and it's just like just kind of keep me humble.
Yeah.
At school, I'm super busy, but it kind of I do it on Wednesday, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So in the middle of my week, it kind of brings me back down to earth, levels me out, make sure that I do remain humble and stuff like that. So that's what I do down there in the third ward. And as far as being a mentor, back home, I just have a lot. I have a lot of parents that always reach out to me on Facebook or
Mm-hmm.
Twitter or text me my phone and just be like, "Hey, my son, my daughter, they really look up to you. Like, would you mind mentoring? Would you mind sharing them some advice and giving them advice?" So I love doing that. And it also holds me accountable, making sure that I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I have them all on my Snapchat, my social media, making sure that I'm not posting anything that I shouldn't be posting. It's really
That's
just
dope,
keep me
man.
humble and hold me accountable, and also just inspire them and motivate them.
That's dope, bro. I love how aware you are of your platform, man. So Nick, man, hearing about your backpack drive and hearing about you serving as a mentor, it's no secret where we find ourselves as a society and as a country, with the racial tensions going on. Man, I think it's so important for people who are viewing this interview to see a black man gifted by God, using what he has to benefit his people and benefit the people of God. And so, man, you know, it's a crazy time, in our country, especially if you are black. And so, man, how has that affected you? What have you seen that you can take from what you see now and make things better? Like, what's some things you've been trying to process as you see where we're going as a country?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. It's just it's definitely has sparked a lot of conversation, a lot of self-evaluation, and it's just crazy because it's nothing new. It's something that is just it's a different name, different city, a different family affected, but it affects all of us. It affects
Yeah.
all people of color, all black men, even black women, because it's just not George Floyd. It's also Breonna Taylor. So it's just real crazy. It's definitely like made me want to become more educated, realizing how powerful education is, how powerful knowledge is, um, and just want to come and do things differently and come up with a different strategy. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over, hoping for a different result. So I think it's really time to just sit down, come together, and just find ways that we can attack this problem head on, and just spark awareness. I know with me, it's definitely sparked some ideas that I have as far as um, getting into the minds of African American police officers, what their thoughts are on these situations, how it affects them as Black African American citizens, and how it affects them as Black law enforcement, what they believe can happen, what change should happen as far as behind the scenes. You know, it's just real crazy. I think knowledge and power. I mean, I think knowledge and education is the key. Um, and just it's enough is enough. You know, you got to put our foot down and just find a new way to address these problems and make change. We can't sit behind our computers no more, sit on our phones,
Very true.
repost and tweet and everything. It's time to actually take action, but positive action.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right, brother. Praise God. You know, to hear that, man. And so, man, like with all that being said, with just kind of looking at what God has brought you from, what He's doing currently in your life, and man, and you being a young man, you know, still in college, man, and still figuring out the world. So, you know, my question for you is, what is something if a young man or young woman watching this interview, like what is a message you want to give to them?
Um, just love yourself, no matter what the world's maybe how the world views you, what they may think of you, how they treat you. Don't fight hate with hate. Love will outweigh all. Like, you protected by God. God loves you. God made you you. There's nobody else in the world that's just like you. You one of a kind, and just stay true to yourself. Love yourself. Love your history. Love your culture. Love your family. And just stay true to yourself. You're talented. You gifted, and everybody has a purpose in the world. And once you find yours, make that a priority and just dedicate every day of your life to perfecting your craft and using your platform and just being inspirational and being motivated.
Yeah, man. Praise God for that, bro. I really enjoyed our conversation, man. In this interview and also, you know, off the interview, man. And so I want to say thank you, Nick, for your talents, man. Thank you for glorifying God with what you have and being a young man that we can all look up to and pray for. And so I just want to say thank you, bro, for your time today. I appreciate you, man. And as we close our interview time, for all things KAA, please check out kaacamps.org/vision 2020. Again, my name is Ricky Harris. I'm a former counselor at KA1. Again, the best camp. I can't continue to reiterate that. But listen, I just want to let you know that we definitely appreciate your time, and we're celebrating 30 years of KA history, and now you know.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man.